In this video, we're going to learn how to compute visit-to-visit differences in selected variables. This is program 16.3. Okay. So basically, in this program, we want to compute the difference in heart rate or the change in heart rate and blood pressure levels from one visit to the next for each of the patients that had multiple visits. Okay, because if the patient had only one visit, then there's no change to compute, right? So, well, the first part of the program is, again, you're sorting the data set clinic by patient number and date. That's always something that you need to do. In this case, it's already sorted, but you don't really know, whether the data that you're getting is sorted already. So you always do this. You always sort the data set. Now I'm going to create a data set called differences. I'm reading from the data set clinic, which is the original one that we inputted a while ago. Now, again, this statement by patient number will create the first and last variables for patient number. Okay, now this if statement here is says, okay, if the first variable is equal to 1, or is true, right, equal to 1, and the last variable is also equal to 1, that means what? That means that that's the first and the last visit of the patient. So that patient was there only once. So then we're going to delete that patient, okay, because there is no point on computing any difference because that patient was there only once. What else? What are we going to do? We're going to create the variables difference in heart rate, difference in systolic blood pressure, difference in diastolic blood pressure, and for that we're going to use the diff function that we learned in a previous chapter. This will take the change of the observation minus whatever was, before, right? Minus the prior observation. So let's say if patient 1 had 2 visits, this will be equal to the difference between the heart rate of the second visit and the first visit. Now, if it had 3 visits, then we will have 2 differences. 2 with 1, 3 with 2. So, and then this if statement here is telling us, well, if the observation is not first, so if first is not equal to 1, meaning that, it's not the first visit of the person, then store that in this data set, output it to this data set, okay? And then print it, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so let's do that. Run the program. Now you see, patient 1 was there 2 times, so we have only one difference to compute, right? 2 with 1. So it gives you the date of the second observation, the second time that the patient was there, height and weight, because we kept those variables from the clinic data, heart rate for the second visit, obviously. Everything for the second visit. Now, the variables that we created, difference of heart rate, 4. That means that, well, heart rate has increased by 4, right? From the first visit. Same thing for difference in SBP, it increased by 2, DVP increased by 4. Okay. Now, third patient was there 3 times. So this would be the second time, and this would be the third time that the patient number 3 was there. Again, we have the height, weight, which, well, I mean, there was a slight change here. Well, that's just measurement error, I guess, not a big difference. Heart rate, SBP and DVP. And we have the differences here are the differences between the second visit and the first visit. And these differences are actually the differences between the third visit and the second visit. So let's check that. Okay, difference in heart rate, 77 minus 76, 1 actually, so we're fine. 116 minus 122, negative 6. It decreased by 6. 68 minus 70, decreased by 2. So it worked fine. So now we have this data table with the differences in heart rate, SBP, DBP. We could, yeah, I mean, if you could also drop these variables if you don't want to see them, and just keep the differences. But in this case, we wanted to see everything.